everybody, and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie Esther here, and today I want to talk to you about perhaps my favorite reveal from Dead by Daylight's 6th anniversary celebration livestream, and that was the massive grind reduction that they have coming. They're shaking up the way progression works and showing real benefit now to prestige. So we're going to read through this blog post, and I'm going to show you concrete examples of how this is going to impact my game as well as yours. So let's get right into it here. Dead by Daylight gameplay update, prestige and progression rework. 6 years we've been in the fog. It's surreal to reflect on those early days where the playable characters totaled to 4 survivors and 3 killers. Considering the size of today's roster, which has officially welcomed newcomers The Dredge and Hattie Core, it might be hard to imagine a time where the perk pool wasn't quite so deep. Following today's anniversary broadcast, we're now looking at over 200 perks for both Killer and Survivor. You don't have to be a completionist to know that the scope of the grind can be daunting. And how? As it happens, we are thrilled to confirm that those days are ending. A complete overhaul to the progression and prestige system is coming to Dead by Daylight, tentatively slated for release this summer. So this is not going to be ready in time for the Roots of Dread chapter. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be ready for the mid chapter after that. But when Hattie and Dredge come out, the system will not be live yet. How it works. This new system is tied to a character's progression and will reduce the grind significantly. Moving forward, the first 3 prestige levels will earn the corresponding tier of that chosen character's perk across every other killer or survivor. It's also worth noting that you'll no longer lose any perks, items, and add-ons when leveling up a character's prestige. Woo! For example, if you raise the trapper to prestige level 1, all your killers will receive the first tier of unnerving presence, agitation, and brutal strength. They will also gain the ability to find tier 2 of those perks in the blood web and subsequently tier 3. That process continues until you reach prestige level 3, when all the trappers perk tiers will be maxed out for every killer. After that, characters will be able to surpass beyond prestige level 3, and we'll be sharing more details on that process closer to release. But for now, note that each prestige level will modify your character's specific prestige crest, which other players can see in the post-game tally screen. That way, you can proudly showcase your commitment to your favorite character. This will effectively be your character level metric, as opposed to your blood web level, explains Matt, the design director. The blood web level will be the progression step towards the next prestige level. If you've reached prestige level 3 already, if you've already put in the time to reach prestige level 3, we'd like to ensure that accomplishment is celebrated. Each prestige level 3 character on your account at the time of the update will receive a distinct reward with specifics to be unveiled a little further down the line. For those who have not prestiged, it's not entirely uncommon for a player to have withheld from engaging with the prestige system altogether. Some may have already collected every tier of every perk for every character without ever having leveled their prestige. Rest assured that this new progression system will ensure that these players are compensated for their time investment. When we roll this out, we're planning on doing a prestige catch-up mechanic that will look at the perk tiers you have on your character. Explains Matt. If you've been collecting perks on your character and leveling them up, you'll gain a number of prestige levels based on how many perks and perk tiers you've acquired. As for the general perks that aren't connected to a specific character, Unrelenting or Resilience, for example, they will remain unlockable through blood web progression. So, yeah, probably what they're going to do, I don't know exactly how this is going to work, but if you have like every perk unlocked on a character already, but you've never prestiged them, they're probably going to just grandfather you in to prestige 3. So it'll probably be something like, let's say there's 100 perks for Survivor, and you would need to tier up each one of those perks to tier 3, so that would be 300 tier levels on those 100 perks. Probably if you have 100 tier levels, they'll give you prestige 1. If you have 200 prestige levels, prestige 2. And if you have like nearly everything, tier 3, 300 levels, they'll give you prestige 3. It might be a little bit less than that, but I think in my mind, that's probably how this is going to work. Shrine of Secrets. The Shrine of Secrets will also benefit from this progression system rework. There won't be a teachable rarity associated with the shrine anymore, reveals Matt. You'll be able to buy your chosen perk directly from the shrine, though the higher tiers will cost more. Upon purchase, that perk will immediately be available on every applicable character. That's great. Normally, you would go to the Shrine of Secrets and you would unlock a perk, let's say barbecue and chili, and then you would have to go through your killer's blood webs and hope that randomly, eventually, barbecue and chili is going to pop up on a blood web for you to buy it. Now, if you just buy it on the Shrine of Secrets, you get it on every killer automatically. That's value. I've always thought that the Shrine of Secrets is a really poor value, and that you should always just keep your shards and use them for cosmetics, even for buying perks that you already had in Shrine of Secrets for blood points. I thought that was a terrible value too. I think you're just better off to grind and keep the shards for cosmetics, but that's me. So this actually increases the value of using the Shrine of Secrets. I really like this idea. If you've already unlocked tier 1 of a perk, let's go back to the Trapper's Agitation for a second. You'll be able to buy tier 2 and tier 3 from the Shrine of Secrets at a discounted price. We'll be sure to provide further information on the shrine closer to release, so stay tuned. Also, you don't have to buy the perk in the blood web. Like you were having on the old shrine system, you'd have to buy the perk on the shrine with your shards, and then you'd have to spend blood points on the blood web. Assuming you got it on the blood web, you might spend many blood points on the blood web hoping it turned up, and then you have to buy the perk. Now you don't have to buy the perk anymore. You just get it. Good. The progression and prestige systems have generated much discussion within the community, and we can't wait to see these changes come to fruition. And we'd like to thank our players for their patience, feedback, and support, and we hope that you enjoy experiencing the new system when it releases. In the meantime, enjoy trying out the Dredge, Hattie Core, and the Garden of Joy, and the Roots of Dread chapter now available on the public test build. This is also an important system coming, since they plan on doing a perk overhaul and changing the meta, increasing the value of around 40 perks in the game. So yeah, you're going to want the ability to unlock these perks, whatever they might be, on all characters, right? So this gets you there. So now I'm going to show you a concrete example in my game of how this new progression system changes how many blood points I need to spend from chapter to chapter. Okay, so as I said, this system will not be ready in time when the new chapter drops, but we're going to pretend like it is just to show you the impact that it has. Try not to get too transfixed on Hattie's little magical microphone device here, and all the way it's bugging, popping up into her hand, and the microphone has a mind of its own. Try not to stare at that. I know it's difficult. All right, so let's pretend like the system is going to be ready when the new chapter drops, which it isn't, but we're pretending. So I buy my new DLC, and I have Hattie, brand new out of the box, new survivor, level 1, haven't touched her at all. She is going to start out with 90 tier 3 perks. Why? Because I have done this grind for so many years that I have every single survivor prestige 3 level 50 with all the perks. You just really need to have them prestige level 3. You don't have to have all the perks, but since I have everybody prestige 3, each one of these survivors is going to contribute 3 teachable perks to Hattie, the new survivor on the block, and they're all going to be tier 3 perks because they're prestige 3. So Hattie starts out brand new, level 1, with 90 perks, which means that she would own, actually 93, because she'd have her own 3 perks. And then she would just need to get the 15 common perks that aren't teachable to anybody, which is very doable, right? Now that they're instituting this, that you aren't going to lose your levels when you prestige, all I have to do is concentrate on prestiging Hattie up to P3, and I get to keep everything along the way. So I'm going to have those 15 perks that she's missing at tier 3 in no time. And then once I have her at prestige 3, then her perks are going to be given to all the other survivors. They'll get them at prestige 1 at tier 1, and then prestige 2 at tier 2 at prestige 2, and tier 3 at prestige 3. So all I have to do is concentrate on spending points in Hattie, and I could do that in about 4.5 million blood points. Normally what I would do is I would unlock the teachables for Hattie, which I'm not going to have to do anymore at level 30, 35, and 40. And then I would go through every survivor and spend 250,000 points on them, finding Hattie's perks on their brand new blood webs, and giving all these characters Hattie's perks. I don't have to do that anymore. Hattie is going to give them her perks just by me leveling up Hattie. So that's going to save me between 7 and 8 million blood points. Also, since I get all of these characters' perks given to Hattie, I don't have to go through multiple upon multiple level 50 blood webs to find everybody's perks on her, which is going to save me about another 7.5 to 8 million. So this is like a 75% grind reduction. Instead of me spending 20 million to get Hattie all the stuff and everybody else Hattie's perks, I just spend 4.5 million points on Hattie, and I'm done. That is very significant. When they first talked about this on the stream, I was like, is this really better than just eliminating perk tiers? Yes. Yes, it is. It eliminates completely the exponential grind as they add each chapter, because it was like being on a treadmill that they're constantly turning up the speed, that you have to get more and more across all of the survivors to keep everything complete. So it was quite difficult for me, and I haven't been able to put as many points into killers because of that, because the survivors required so much attention, so many points, ever increasing exponentially. Now the costs are fixed. When the chapter after Hattie comes out, it's going to be the same thing. 4.5 million, I'm done. That's it. Now, let's go over and look at my killers. So basically what this has done, so I have like 8,000 hours in the game, and I'm devotion level 25. I've played a ton of this game, and I still haven't completed everything, which just demonstrates to you how grindy this game was. I have some killers prestige 3, but not all, not even half. I think I have 10 of them done. So when the new system comes in, the 10 that I have prestige 3 will all contribute their 3 perks to everyone else. So that's going to be 30 perks that if the other killers don't have it already, they're going to get gifted to them. And I have a lot of killers that don't have very many pages of perks. Like, if I'm looking here, look, my Billy has 2 pages of perks, right? And then Doc has like 6 or something. Just to show you the difference in how many perks behind I am on Billy. So Billy's gonna get a ton of perks coming his way when the prestige system comes in. I love this system. It's gonna be so good. It allows you to invest in reducing the grind. You prestiging reduces the grind. So I'm not sure what the play is here. I mean, obviously my Billy, they're not going to give me any prestige levels on him because I haven't put any work into him. Now somebody like my doctor, they'll probably give me prestige 3 on him. Same thing with Freddy. I'll probably get prestige 3 on him. So what's my play in the meantime? What am I going to do here? I think I'm going to work on getting as many killers as I can with every spare blood point that I have up to at least P2 level 50, because then once the system is instituted, then I can pop them off to P3 and I'll be able to keep all of their add-ons and things that I acquired along the way to get there, because there won't be any reset anymore. So I think that's the play. That's what I'm looking at here. I'm going to show you a couple things from the forums now. Okay, so from the forums here, when people are saying, well, I don't think I'm going to spend any blood points until this comes out, Peanuts put in a post reminding them that this isn't coming out with the next chapter, so you're going to have a long wait to not spend any blood points. Just an FYI, but the new prestige system is not going to come with the new chapter. It's planned for later this summer. And that said, you might as well start prestiging now. You'll be properly rewarded once the new system drops, or save your points, your call. I think prestiging early before the system comes in is the way to go. There's no sense sitting on a bunch of blood points at max, so you should use them where you can, even if it's on, you know, characters that you don't use very much, just to get their prestige levels up, because we know there's going to be a reward, right? And on the subject of the reward, there was a question, can we please have prestige clarification? It's the only thing confusing about the stream, and they wanted to know about what the reward would be for having invested this time. And Mandy says the distinct P3 reward will be given to those who've reached P3 prior to the update going live. So maybe parking at P2 level 50 isn't the play. If there's a reward to be had, you'll know about what the situation is best for you. If you have the points, maybe just go ahead and push into P3. Not sure. They must have actually reached P3 on their characters prior to this system going live. Whilst yes, we are taking consideration into those who have not P3'd and gotten all the perks, as explained in the blog post, that is separate to the distinct reward. The reward is not going to be a cosmetic item. It's not the return of legacy. I want to manage players' expectations around that right now. As soon as I can go into details about what players will receive, I'll be more than happy to, but I just want to confirm that this will not be a clothing or charm item. So what could the reward be then if it isn't cosmetic? Well, it could be currency, I guess. Could be blood points. Could be shards. Not sure. It also could be... No, I don't know. I was thinking that maybe as you push into... They're talking about getting to P4, P5, and a limited number of prestige levels. And there being benefit to that. Perhaps there would be a multiplier in blood points earned as you move into those higher levels of prestige. Not sure. So that's a conundrum, but there is going to be some kind of reward that you get if you are P3 before the system kicks in, and it's not going to be cosmetic. That much we know for sure.
It's a Gen Rush life for us. It's a Gen Rush life for us. Set a hiding, we do gens. Set a randoms, we got friends. It's a Gen Rush life.